Good morning and welcome back to another day in the Fractured Rooster garage. Working on the Healey this morning. Just a couple simple things I'm gonna knock out. I'm gonna tackle the distributor, get that in, get it timed, and then weld up that exhaust manifold and hopefully tighten up the intake and exhaust manifolds so that the only thing holding us back at this point would be that oil pipe that's coming from Moss Motors. Off camera this morning, I did some boring stuff. I kind of just went through the distributor, put in a new condenser, put on a new rotor. There's that positive wire for the distributor. I think it's ready to roll. The prognosis after the compression test was not the best on that fourth cylinder. Number 1, 2, and 3 are strong in climbing, and I think number 4 is going to pick up. I think it's going to come around, but 90 psi, that's enough to run on. So at minimum, we'll have a 3.5 cylinder car. I'd hate to tear the engine down, and well, like I already told you, I'm not going to tear the engine down. If it needs an engine, that one's gone, and this project's getting a whole new identity. So after that oil pipe gets here and the carb's hooked up, it should be just as simple as throwing some gas in the tank, priming the fuel system, and lighting this thing off. Well, the basic shape is here. I'm just going to throw some paper on it. Use my dirty fingers to build somewhat of a template. Here's the outline of our flange. I know one of you was watching just to watch me lose a finger, you sickos. But there it is. It's a little simple little plate. I should preface this adventure with I'm not a strong welder. And also that I'm not going to ruin my camera by recording it. So I'll bring it back after this is tacked. Well, that didn't take long. And like I said, I don't fancy myself to be a welder. I didn't want to hide it from you. The very top weld there started out strong, and then it kind of fell apart from there. I think I got it going a little too fast or something. But I didn't want to burn through this manifold, so. If you grind your welds, you're a grinder, not a welder. So we're definitely grinding those. See you in a minute. It's done. Let's bolt it on and see how it fits. Okay, bolted down without a gasket, but it's all right. And that goes on just like that, and as you can see, it looks good until you put that washer in there, and then you see the problem. So the flange thickness on this exhaust is about 9.15 millimeters, 9.2 over here, 887 over here, 926 down here. So I'm going to average that to about 9 millimeters. And our flange thickness here is 990, we'll say 10 millimeters. So you gotta lose an M&M off this. I got a feeling that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn on the belt sander. I'm just gonna run this back and forth, measure it, run it across there, measure it. Seems to be the safest, easiest, cheapest, hopefully most trouble-free way of doing this. That's the plan. See you shortly. Well, all the neighbors are awake now, but after just a couple quick passes on the belt sander, she's fitting pretty good. It's got to come off a time or two I want to paint, maybe powder coat some stuff here before we throw heat to it. That way, first fire, it'll cure some epoxy or some powder or something on there. But I think I'm going to call it a day. It was a quick, easy morning. A little cutting, welding, sanding, grinding. Man stuff. Hey, what's up, Fats? Well, Fatty McGee's wide awake. Well, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna catch some sleep. We'll pick back up again tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be bolting this carburetor on for the last time, for the first and last time. We're just waiting on that oil pipe now. I'm gonna be spinning my wheels, just doing oddball stuff till that fitting gets here. And Moss Motors told me it shipped yesterday, so another day, maybe two, and we'll be turning the key on this for real. Good morning. I'm starting to feel like a real rooster since I'm up before the sun every single morning. But I drug my butt out here into the shop to get going on the Healey again today. I think since we're still waiting on parts, I'm gonna jump in this interior and put these panels in place. Maybe even mock the dash up, plug all the gauges in, since really we're just waiting on that one hose. I am gonna use this as a template to recreate this out of some like 3/4 inch mahogany or some maple or something cool, and stain it, trying to match the steering wheel. I've got a matching shift knob. It'll be wood and look all classy and fancy. It'll smell of rich mahogany. So yeah, these are the spinning the wheels types of tasks I was talking about. While we're waiting on parts, we'll knock out some of the boring, tedious, small stuff. So while we're waiting, I think I will pull this white vinyl off this dash and throw some black vinyl that came in on our interior kit on here, and that will also allow me to map out all the holes and dimensions. And I'll trace this onto a piece of plywood so I can get a good template going. Here's that metal dashboard all cleaned up. I just took a wire wheel to it to get some of the old adhesive off there, and then wiped it down with some adhesive remover. I'm just going to spray some fresh adhesive remover, some good 3M stuff onto it, and then spray some adhesive onto the vinyl. Once the two are tacky, I'll just mate them together. It's a pretty simple process. I'm sure you guys have seen it a million times, but I'll time lapse it because it's maybe cool and therapeutic for you to watch. Now I just got to cut the holes out for the gauges. I can feel, you can probably hear that paint overspray on that plastic. Got some plastic polish. Let me see if I can save these real quick. Well, that was a hell of a difference. Well, Well, the dash is finished. I spared you guys all of the tedious, boring work of me polishing and scrubbing and cutting and gluing. As you can see, it looks really good. Hey, I realize you've never seen under the bottom of this Healey. And I'm going down there. Might as well go with me. It's not a perfect car. Wouldn't say it's concourse or Pebble Beach type of car, but I mean, it's clean. New Holley fuel pump, new brake lines, lots of spider webs. Like I said, I took the car down almost to every nut and bolt. Everything that I could unbolt from the frame was removed and sandblasted and painted. It's an honest little driver. Well, before I install it, I suppose it's worth mentioning, talking about it. Since it's so nice looking, I bought a stainless kit from Victoria British, now Moss Motors, back in the day. I don't remember what this kit cost. I think it was around $300-400, which is very reasonable. Made in England. Cool. Like I said, these cars are so cheap to build. This entire exhaust, I want to say it's $300. That was probably 10 years ago, but tell me what other car you can buy a complete manifold to tip exhaust for $300. Stainless exhaust for $300. This kind of shows you how much I've invested in this car over the years, and I really would like to give all this stuff a shot before I rip it all out. Most of this stuff has never been ran or even installed, so I do need to do my due diligence and exhaust all of this stuff to make sure this engine is good. At least give it the best odds I can give it. But I mean, I'm with you. I do want to do that motorcycle engine, but I gotta go through the motions with all this stuff first. So, and there's the exhaust system. Just a nice stainless single pipe. Try to navigate my creeper under the car here. Just a nice single pipe, goes all the way up to the exhaust manifold. It's got just a little understated little stainless tip sticks out the back. All right, baby steps, and that's one closer to running. I'm gonna roll back down there, hook that fuel pump up, and one more step, and the baby step marathon. Hey, with that manifold off, the intake manifold off, you can really see the blend work and the crappy welds on that exhaust manifold. That's some VHT, like 2000 degree, which I think equates to like 2000 second is how long it lives when you start the car. I think that's what that means. 2000 F is like 2000 freaking seconds. All that'll burn off and it'll turn rusty and look like it should. So that's good. Yeah, fuel pump. I'm gonna roll back down there, hook up that fuel pump. See you in a second. Well, I thought I'd bring it down here with me to hook up this one single wire. It seemed very boring. Mildly entertaining. Is my light bar strobing on camera? Sometimes it does that. It kind of looks like a little rave going on. Done. Super simple. And we'll just run it right along the brake line here. So I just got to hook up the ground wire here, which feels like a 8mm. Doing the blind finger feel. That sounds weird. Yeah, My finger calipers tell me that's 8mm. Be right back. Should a self-tapper be used as a ground? Probably not. Am I doing it anyway? 110%, yes. Should you use a nut and a bolt? Yes. Because this could vibrate loose and cause big problems in the future. Big time drivability issues. But hey, it's alright. Alright, fuel pump is wired. That's it. And that is a part number 12-426. Maybe a serial number of 012320. I'll look that up when I get inside because I think that's the lower PSI, like a 4 to 6 or 2 to 6 PSI made for a carburetor, so it doesn't put out too much pressure and overrun the main jets or the floats inside the carburetor. If that's the case, we won't need a regulator. If that's not the case, we will need a regulator, which isn't a big deal. I think we've gone legitimately as far as we can go without parts. I don't want you guys to wait on these videos like I'm waiting on these parts, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here and push out what I've got. And I'm hoping in the next couple days, hopefully by about the time this video posts, those parts will be here and I'll be turning the key. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.